Long ago, in a bright and peaceful kingdom, a long-awaited princess was finally born. The kind king and gentle queen bent over her cradle, hearts overflowing with wonder and love. They invited the whole kingdom to a grand christening, and three good fairies came as godmothers. "I give you beauty," said Flora. "And I give you the gift of song," added Fauna softly. Suddenly the music died. A cold wind rose, and Maleficent appeared in a storm of green fire. "Before sunset on her 16th birthday she shall prick her finger and die," Maleficent hissed as terror filled the hall. To save their child, the king and queen let the fairies spirit her away to a tiny forest cottage. There the three aunties raised the baby as their own, without magic, in a warm, humble home. Years passed, little chores and simple joys filled her days, and the baby grew into a graceful young girl. Life without magic was messy. Cakes collapsed, smoke billowed, and the fairies laughed at their own disasters. Unaware of her royal blood, 16-year-old Aurora wandered the ancient woods, singing as birds and deer followed. One afternoon her song rose sweet and clear above the river, wrapping the whole forest in music. Far away, Prince Philip rode through the trees, restless and bored with palace life and empty ceremonies. Captivated by the mysterious voice, he reined in his horse and followed the sound deeper into the woods. In a sunlit clearing they startled each other, then smiled shyly as they began to speak and laugh together. Walking side by side along the winding path, they shared stories and promises to meet again at sunset. Heart racing with first love, Aurora ran home toward the cottage, clutching her skirt and glowing with joy. But her aunts were waiting, faces grave. The laughter faded as she saw the small wooden chest. Inside lay a royal crest and a tiny crown. "You are Princess Aurora," they whispered, "daughter of the king." Torn between love and duty, Aurora let them lead her away, back toward the distant castle on the hill. As twilight deepened, the proud towers rose above her, glowing faintly while shadows gathered around their highest spire. Alone inside the vast stone corridors, Aurora walked slowly, her new gown whispering along the cold floor. Then a strange green light appeared at the end of the hall, calling her onward in eerie silence. In a dreamlike trance, she climbed the forgotten spiral stairs, step by step, following the floating light. At the top, in a dusty tower room, an ancient spinning wheel waited, its spindle gleaming an unnatural green. "Touch it, dear child," Maleficent's voice purred. Aurora's fingers brushed the spindle, and the curse finally awoke. She fell into a deep, enchanted sleep. The fairies laid her gently upon a royal bed and began to weep. To spare the kingdom sorrow, they cast a spell of slumber. Every soul froze, wrapped in shimmering blue magic. That evening Prince Philip reached the forest cottage, only to find it empty, silent, and strangely still. Inside, the three fairies appeared in a burst of color and confessed everything about Aurora's hidden life. But Maleficent's minions lurked close by. They attacked, bound the prince, and dragged him to her dark fortress. In a jagged mountain stronghold lit by sickly green lightning, Maleficent planned to keep him prisoner forever. Chained in a cold dungeon, Philip refused to give up hope, his thoughts fixed on the sleeping princess. The good fairies slipped into the cell, shattered his chains with magic, and armed him with shield and sword. With the shield of virtue on his arm and the sword of truth blazing blue, Philip fled into the storm. On a rocky cliff, Maleficent rose before him, laughing, as swirling green fire transformed her into a colossal dragon. She loosed a roaring river of green flames. Philip braced behind his shield, while fire crashed and split around him. Summoning all his courage, he leapt through the smoke and drove the glowing sword into the dragon's dark heart. As Maleficent's shadow dissolved into smoke, Philip raced back to the castle through halls of frozen courtiers. At last he reached the silent tower room where Aurora lay sleeping peacefully beneath a veil of fading magic. He knelt beside her, lifted her hand, and with all his love pressed a gentle kiss upon her lips. Aurora's eyes opened, the kingdom awakened, and soon they danced together in a shining ballroom, happily ever after.
Thanks for watching Enna's Tiny Tales Stories. If you had fun with us today, please show your support and subscribe so we can bring you many more tales to come. See you in the next story.